Everybody, welcome back. It's Slay the Spire, early on a Tuesday morning here. Thanks for joining me. This is where the real Slay the Spire begins. This is Anor Londo. I forget what those weird demons are called. You know, the pink demons. Pink ghoul is on his way. They take you to Anor Londo. You fly over the ridge. You go look at this beautiful stuff. That's where we're at right now, starting every run cursed. But I am happy to say I did get a win on the Switch last night, and it reminded me again how good of a card Vault is. Let's do our best. So we're going to start with the curse. I think it's unremovable. I gotta tell you, to be honest, I'm kind of a take 18 damage, transform 2 cards kind of guy. Swivel and Lesson Learned. So Swivel, is not amazing necessarily. Upgraded though, it can start to get good. The thing with Swivel, I think, is that you really want it to target an attack that costs more than 1. Because then for 2 energy, you're going to get 8 block and whatever damage. Like Lesson Learned, if it hits Lesson Learned, that would be nice. So I think when you get an early Lesson Learned like this, you really do want to take advantage of like as many combats as you can get here. Just having the ability to do an attack and also 2 blocks in a single turn is kind of sick, to be honest, as well. So realistically, we're about to draw a 20 damage Lesson Learned. Let's just make sure that you're going to be as close to death as possible. It is upgraded to defend. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Let me tell you, you need some damage. Reach Heaven is one way to get there. Reach Heaven does 10 damage by itself. To be honest with you, personally, I want to guarantee that we can get a kill next turn. So I think the best way to do that is, like, hit you with this Reach Heaven, and then honestly just spend a little right here, and then as soon as we draw a Lesson Learned, it's going to work. Like, we're basically getting several... Oh, it upgraded itself? I'll take it. We're getting like several campfires worth of value out of the smithing as long as we fight trash enemies, which thankfully has been the case so far. I'm not sold on any of these necessarily. Let's keep it moving. I mean, you gotta acknowledge, really, that we got super lucky transforming one of our cards into a rare that actually gives us, you know, a pretty advantageous position. So this is 30... We have 39 damage that we can do. So we'll just set it up like so. It's working out pretty well so far. Regen Potion, very nice. Deceive Reality, honestly one of my favorite cards. 16 block for 2 is pretty good, and then, you know, the 12 block that you get out of this, you can set it up however you please. We're gonna set it up immediately because it sucks a little hard here, but you know, I think I'll actually choose just to take the 1 damage here rather than play our Miracle. That's what the Regen Potion is for, you know, fill in the gaps. Ideally, you would live through this turn and die next turn so we could get an upgrade. Which will mean you probably get away. Which I'm realizing that I'm completely okay with. I'm actually totally fine with it. We're just going to play this one. Basically, the gold that we get here is not worth as much as just making sure that we get an upgrade. Even if it does just upgrade the defend like it did. I'm contented. I'm happy. Should go ahead and escape. I don't even know. Like, we don't tend to go to a shop on our first floor anyway. Unless it happens by accident, so no sweat. I will take a Bowling Bash. I think it's a good attack that's really, really good against, like, you know, these enemies, for example. Let's make sure you're dead. I mean, realistically, I actually can't kill you. Well, no, I can. I can do so because of the upgraded strike. So I'm gonna do it like this, and then if we draw a Lesson Learned, we just kill you. 19 damage, beautiful. This is working out like I feel like this is a cheat code right now. I don't love any of those, and here we go, our first elite. Now, the way that you play this is tricky. I think a regen potion's helpful. We really need a through violence in our pile. So I think I am going to wake you up. I think it's important. Like this, basically a double damage through violence is like the most important card that we have to get out there to make sure that we don't just get swallowed up by the quicksand here. And here we go. Let's store some energy. Straight up, I'm not interested in wasting a miracle just to do like 7 damage to you. This turn, we're gonna eat a lot of garbage. I don't think we're gonna be able to get a kill. I mean, that's a lot. We can at least play our safety. But this is the kind of turn we got really close. But I in my opinion, this is the kind of turn you sorta have to have in order to, you know, realistically make it through this fight. Now, we've exhausted lesson learned, right? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Maybe we could have played that a little differently. Blood Vial's pretty nice. It's tough. Deceive Reality is so nice, but the ability to enter calm a little bit more easily, I'll take the Deceive Reality for now. I think it's a little bit more flexible. And we can hit some campfires because, you know, why wouldn't we be able to? Take my gold, please. Akabeko is an exciting card. Let's get, let's make Reach Heaven a little bit stronger. And then see how we're doing here. Okay, now there's only one of you. I'm not as scared now. And just remember, we got 8 extra damage attached to our first attack. We really are just going to do this in the hopes of being able to get that lesson learned lethal later. So we'll take you as close to death as possible. And then please draw a lesson learned. It's a miracle if we do. Oh, okay, look at that. That was like a 1 in 3 chance, but I'll take it. I tend to believe in a Talk to the Hand. You don't start with... Talk to the Hand is very good for this boss, I think. We don't want to go here. Let's hit a shop later when we're a little bit stronger. It's just not a great first turn. We really want to get some damage out there as fast as possible. We basically just have to commit to trying to end your life right here. Something like this. Something like this. Something like this. I'm just going to take the 32. I don't know if that was prudent, but that's how it went down. I'm not... I mean, I'm kind of sold on a Sash Whip. We so rarely take it. But if we're going to run Talk to the Hand, it would be nice to have the means to remove an artifact from enemies. This is just not a good first turn for us, quite frankly. You know what? I think I just did it wrong. I think if I did it in a different capacity... I think I'm just going to kill you next turn. If I did it in a different capacity, I'm pretty sure I could have killed you with Lesson Learned, so that's my bad. But we still... you know, in spite of the fact that I've taken some... Not so... Well, you know what? If we're getting another shuffle... I was going to say shovel, but... If we're getting another shuffle here, we might as well... stall and see if we draw a Lesson Learned. We didn't. But I think we might as well still stall and see if we draw a Lesson Learned. And I think you know what I'm going to say. Why don't we still stall and see if we're going to draw a Lesson Learned? Probably not, because I played it. Alright, good point. You got me on that one. Now, Perseverance is my play here. I'm picking a little fast, I'll admit, and that's just a little too risky for me. I'll take a Rest, which normally would be Cowardice, but like we've upgraded a decent chunk of our deck, as is. This is actually great. So we get the first turn Akabeko, which now that I realize is only 8 extra damage anyway, so we'll chalk that one up to some order. Can we do 18 damage this turn? No. So, you know, in all honesty, that's not the greatest play you could ever ask for, but it is what it is. Maybe this deck's not quite as strong as I thought it was, but we definitely want, well, a Sash Whip I don't care about too much. Certainly Reach Heaven through Violence. Like, the important thing, I think, is looking ahead on this run. It costs 0, too, which is just, is sick, man. The important thing is looking ahead and realizing that, to be honest with you, that even that play right there was probably not right. With Reach Heaven through Violence, making through Violence cost 0, we should save our Violence for Eruption when we can enter the Wrath stance, but alas, that's not how that went down. I think we'll just, we're playing it a little too slow here, but I'm moving the tape forward, okay? We definitely want to play a Reach Heaven so that we get a Through Violence later. We need to do 21 damage to you next turn or put up a staggering amount of block. I actually think we can put up a staggering amount of block. Or alternatively, we might just be able to hurt you good. Like with one of these, for example. And then one of these, for example. Quick swivel into another Reach Heaven. Like, we want to retain as many through... If we don't need to play a Through Violence, we want to retain our Through Violences so that we can save them for Wrath and do, like, so much damage that the enemy's head will explode. So I think we're getting there. Finally. It took us a long enough time, but we're going to have, like, several turns of just doing big blocks. And then when we get the chance to do Eruption, then we hit you with the Through Violence and ruin your life. And hopefully find a way to exit this stance. That's one of the big things we're missing here. I'll take 1 damage to weaken you. I don't think you want a swivel there, unfortunately. I think it's just not the best use of your limited resources. 26 damage? I mean, you gotta own this one. We got a little off the beaten path there, but it worked out overall. I'm not sure how to play this one. Scrawl has let me down a couple times in the past, but if it lets me draw into Through Violence faster, then I'm happy with it. Conjure Blade is really good if you can get, like, you know, triple miracles or an ice cream or something. You know, I think I'll try Conjure Blade. I think the payoff for it is more fun. And a Cursed Key is, like, honestly maybe my favorite of all the energy relics. And seems to work really well with Smiling Mask. 329 gold says to me that this is our highest priority. And honestly, I feel like right now we're kind of so far so good. There's 12 block. I think... it's just about how we want to play this. Like, Reach Heaven through Violence is so important, but a Conjure Blade will give us a 127 damage. You're gonna laugh at me. I don't think you play this here. I think you actually play a Deceive Reality to set up a safety. And then just get that Through Violence going in your hand. The number one card that I want to add, or the number one type of card that I want to add, well, at least we're removing some plated armor, is honestly Stance Removers. The Stance Remover has logged on. So freaking close. If I can get, like, some empty fists, I'd be a happy camper. So this is where you look at, can we lethal you? Eruption will be at 4 energy. You'll be at 58. Is that correct? Is my math right? Yeah, 58. 53. 40. So you can see that. We're not going to put up 42 block. And you're about to, like, frail me or weaken me. You know what? A Hand of Greed changes everything. We can at least get 20 gold out of it. I do like a Carve Reality. Because it adds the smite directly to your hand. I love, dude, Akabeko with mutagens. I'm very happy. We have like no AOE, but I was just gonna say a bowling bash does some serious work. 12. We have to take out one of you. That's extremely simple. I'm very pleased. We will play a Perseverance. That's not like the highest value payoff of it, but a Conjure Blade now, that like just by being able to play the Expunger, it's gonna knock one of these guys out of their current stance. Now I'd love to play. If I'm being straight up with you, what are you doing? 21 damage? Whoa, never mind. Okay, this is... I'm stupid. That being said, we don't need to play a Reach Violence to kill these guys. They're you know, you just tackle this a slightly different way. 8 block, or 12 block. I mean, I think you get away with something... Well... I'm willing to get a little spicy. And maybe I shouldn't. You're probably like, no, don't do it. And you know what? You might even be right in that situation, but just work with me here. This guy's going to do like 6, 8, whatever. I'm accidentally very intelligent, as you can see. We just want a lesson learned. I hate that the Expunger was on the bottom of the pile, but you know what? It happens. Obviously, we could toast you, but this is the easiest lesson learned that, you know, society's ever created for us. It's handed to us on a silver platter. I think Foreign Influence upgraded is like one of the best cards in the Watcher pile. To make whatever you get cost 0. Oh man, dude, look at this. Look at this. It's so simple. They make it so simple for you. We might be able to kill you next turn. I was gonna say in the Wrath stance, but it's a little precious. So retain this. That's where we've gone wrong. Retain this through violence. I will still play like a Carve Reality. Through violence is going to continue to cost 0. It's important. It's important. We're taking like 1 damage. I'm okay taking 1 damage. We're literally just waiting for Eruption to show up. The fact that it showed up on the same turn as Lesson Learned. Now you do the math, okay? 9 damage takes you to 40. This does 40, which is not good. But this does 18, takes you to 22, and this does 26. And you upgrade Foreign Influence? No, maybe next time. Again, we want Stance, Exeters, but I'm not totally sold on Tranquility. I do start to get a little skittish about not having removed anything or added anything to my deck recently. I would say... Am I crazy? Do we not start each run cursed? Did I remove a curse? What happened to my curse? I don't... Maybe I'm dying? Bugged? I love Mummified Hand, but you know, that's guilty of like playing the run we want to play instead of the run that we're actually on. I think Breaking Block, Applying Vulnerable is pretty great. Everything else, I'm not totally sold, honestly. And I think I'll just cut like the unupgraded Defend. And nothing else here, like it doesn't tickle my fancy quite enough yet. We'll definitely upgrade this Foreign Influence. And we got a very, like, tight deck. I know, phrasing. But this is a tight deck. I'll actually choose a card to add, if possible. I bet we can find something here that we like. And to be completely honest with you, Ragnarok is so interesting because you think about it like paying off with Swivel or something like that. I do think Study, especially upgraded, is pretty good. You get a card that allows you to draw 2... cards per turn for 0, and it retains, and is like it could be a payoff for Crush Joints or something like that. But I genuinely think like I'm in either Empty Body or Empty Fist territory. Let's do Empty Body for now. A way to exit that Wrath stance means more to me. at the present moment. So this turn we probably won't sweat lesson learned too much. I think. Now I kind of want to play the Deceive Reality, but you know, if he's not attacking this turn, which we were confident that he isn't, like, who cares, right? This turn, we only have one means to exit stance. I think it makes sense to be a little bit more cautious here. So through violence is very storable, but we could also for zero. Actually, I think this is a rare turn where maybe we're gonna play that for 0 and then get a 36 damage expunger out there, obviously hoping to play it for like 72 at some point. Foreign influence, it's actually, for me, I'm kind of just looking at this like maybe being able to weaken you is advantageous for us. Expunger doesn't retain, which is unfortunate because I'd love to get some retain out of it. This would be, you know what? I think you just play this right here. We take 2 damage from a pretty spicy elite. I'm not sweating it in the slightest. It's a big, like, eruption. Talk to the hand. Go for the eyes. Realistically, I don't think you should have to empty body here in order to get the kill. I think we should get the kill next turn regardless. Now, the question is, do we want to get the kill? And the answer is, I don't think so. I think the answer is we'll get you closer to death and guarantee that you die on this turn, but we'll try to draw into lesson learned, which is exactly what happened. We're playing this very methodically so far. I do like an evaluate. That being upgraded will give us 10, right? Yeah, that makes sense. 10 block for 1. Oh, dude, we haven't seen that. Maybe this only shows up on higher level ascensions. We don't have a shop coming up. Live dangerously. 30% to win 250. You lost the bet, but you know what? We won the war. I'm a believer in the evaluate for now. I think we're gonna get like a fully upgraded deck. Let's see if we can fight 2 more elites on this floor. I'd be feeling pretty freaking groovy, man. I don't say groovy in my real life. So I hope you'll forgive me and give me the opportunity to do it now. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to miracle just to get a safety in hand for a future turn. Which means we should have probably played that turn very differently, but I'm glad we did, honestly. Because now we have, well, enough block, really. And I want to play, like, a Conjure Blade. This is mostly to prevent a wound from coming into hand. I'm actually... 1 damage for 9, though, is, like, not worth it. I'm gonna Basic Strike, because at least the Smite retains. We can use that more aptly if we get, like, an Eruption, which we do have. Of these, like, honestly... We're gonna take a Slice, because it's gonna come whipping back around. The problem is I can't kill you. Maybe we can get an attack that, like, exits turn? Or exits, eruption? We did, okay. Which means then we can erupt. And then play a Slice for 12, which is nice. And then we know we gotta play either Empty Body or Vigilance. We'll probably play... Let's do this. And then Empty Body. We still take enough damage to get a wound added to our deck, but... That could have been worse, I think. Swivel's fine, and then you follow with a Reach Heaven. And then we can add 16 block to this. Absolutely. I mean, this might look like it's going a little sideways, but just call me Paul Giamatti. 35 damage. I cannot kill you. We're gonna take... Well, I could do 17 plus 20. I could do 42 plus 14. Oh my god. Look at that. I can kill you. Start combat in calm is interesting. Vault, for my money, might be like the best card in the game. Especially, the run I won on Switch last night, not to regale you with things you'll never see, but I had the spoon, so cards that exhaust only exhaust 50% of the time. And then I had 2 vaults, so statistically speaking, I had 3 vaults, but on the boss, I ended up getting like 6 vaults, and I won just barely as a result of that, which was pretty cool. So, empty body. I only want to play it if it's necessary, or if it gives us, like, a lot. And I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm actually going to play like that. And I know it seems insane to spend more to get less. But this, I was just going to say, creates a situation where we can lesson learned right there. Which might be more advantageous for us in the long term. And then a Conjure Blade gets hit by that. So Vault is just your dream card. So we will Erupt, because we have the safety of Vault here. Unfortunately, these all kind of stink, but we can at least do that. We can at least do this, and then Vault, and it's pretty realistic we could kill you next turn. And in fact, we will. That was totally fine. Great potion. Unbelievable potion. And then these sons of guns, huh? You really just want like a Bowling Bash turn 1? Call me crazy on this one. I think you gotta play your Eruption and then go straight into a Distilled Chaos. We got a Vault and a Lesson Learned. Did the Lesson Learned hit anything or no? Anyway. Probably start here. That feels nice. That felt pretty good as well. And you know what? While we're in the Eruption stance, apologies to Conjure Blade, but I think you do something like this. Always play it for 0 if you got the chance. Lesson Learned got exhausted, huh? Yeah. I don't know even who it got played against, but either way, this went totally fine. It sucks that it cost us our potion, but I think it's clear we got like our win condition kind of like, you know, it's locked in my head right now. And again, I'm not really sold on any of these. Crush Joints, maybe. Realistically, I think this Vault is worth more than 14 defense for us, but there have been times in the past where I've been incorrect before. Normally, I would probably save a Smite, but we got a lot of energy just kind of burning a hole in our pocket. Why not just get it out there? We wanted a Bowling Bash on this turn. No such luck. 4 energy. This is where you gotta think. Like, Eruption will allow us to get some kills, but it's one of the spicier plays in the playbook right now. I think we can get a lesson learned out there knowing that we don't actually want to save it. It's kind of like a dead draw for us. 14, so you have 29 damage coming out there. I'll take 2 damage. We're waiting for like a Bowling Bash, essentially. A Vault and a Bowling Bash. You have to get talked to the hand. I think on this turn, you pop this, and I'll tell you why. I think you don't play any of this except a Deceive Reality and a Perseverance. You're doing 35 damage, so I'll take 8, and I'm okay with that. This is in order to get a permanently great Expunger in our deck. But things are looking a little spicy, for sure. Let's see. Core Surge is the best card you could ever ask for, because we could actually just... You're gonna die, so let's Core Surge you. Then pop your Flex Potion. So that card basically gave us 5 strength. Let's get you killed. And get an Evaluate coming here. We are probably going to struggle with block. That scares me a touch. But hey, look, we drew a good card. Let's Expunge. And that does not exhaust, which is nice. So we can... I mean, just to be real with you, I'm like, we can Empty Body, but do we... I don't think we care to Empty Body yet. I think we'd rather have the energy on a future turn. I wish it wasn't this future turn, but... We do still have value here. Let's get an Insight. We can always retain the Smite. And we're burning off, you know, debuffs here. You're doing 37 damage. That's a lot. So it's not a great turn to get Eruption on either. So we need to play attacks. Let's do it like this. Keep those smites. And we did put some vulnerability on you. You see that? You see that? Wow, how about that? I think we're going to stall. 24, we're taking 4 damage. That's not that bad. And we're starting very, very slowly to work things back in our favor. Swivel's important to get that free Reach Heaven through violence. You know as well as I do, we pretty much have to play this every time it shows up, and the block that we got out of it is disgusting. Let's get a Perseverance going. We take 1 damage. Again, it looks worse than it is. Every time you put up block, it's actually like a significant buff for me. Now, this is where you're just putting, you know, your life in God's hands. We have to play these cards. And then we have to hope we can kill you or X's stance next turn. I was going to say, he's not doing anything apparently, so it doesn't seem that bad. And look at that. We made it through, honestly, looking pretty solid. Look, Wish is amazing. I really genuinely think Vault is even better. This is the rare dream situation for us where literally every card is awesome. Like Master Reality works well with Reach Heaven through violence. It works well with Carve Reality. It works well with Foreign Influence. Evaluate, you know, the card Deceive Reality. Vault, you know what? You might have convinced me. Like, this is also amazing. But I actually think Master Reality might be our play. We have a Vault. This is expensive. We'll usually be able to afford it, but it is expensive. I think Master Reality might actually give you more leeway here. So, do I want to remove 2 cards from my deck? It would allow us to remove... I mean, it's literally like the value of 2 shops, but I'm going to be going to shops anyway. I hate to say it. I think Tiny House is like a slap in the face. At least it hit a good card. And I actually think an Empty Fist is a good addition to the deck. Now, we have 1 power. That's not bad in the slightest. We don't really want to hit 2 shops, but like if you hit 1, you more or less gotta hit 2. I think I'm okay with that, because like specific relics could do so much additional value for us right here. There's big plays. You can like erupt, and then, oh my god, 34 damage? Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Hit you with that. 22 damage on the board right now, just took out Tomato Town. Deceive Reality plus a Miracle gets us close. Honestly, like, these guys are not going to live long enough for a Conjure Blade to really matter that much, so I just played it. Lesson Learned is your gimme. Hit Empty Body. We definitely, by the way, you play Bowling Bash first. That was my mistake. Let's put, it doesn't matter. Let's put a Vigilance up. I don't know why, because now I'm like, oh, am I looking for a Lesson Learned? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And we couldn't have killed you, maybe. I don't know. We take 1 damage. No real problem there, but felt a little off. I'm not sold. So we don't see a spoon. That's okay. Pantograph is okay. Secret Technique pre-upgraded seems what I want. That way we can get to a vault whenever we want. And then we saved enough money to maybe buy a top tier relic on the next shop. I say maybe because I'm not totally sure that that would work for us. We might have slightly too little money, but we'll see. We really drew no attacks, huh? So a Master Reality is just a solid play. I will play a safety. I'll play a basic defend. And then I'm going to Miracle into this cool expunger that seems to be able to lethal you straight up. Well, you will Carve Reality, Sash Whip. We got 3 energy remaining. We know we're not going to be able to Lesson Learned kill you, so let's just put up enough block. And we'll strike you. Streamline, I mean, there's multiple situations that you can think of when you play Foreign Influence, right? None of these appeal to me. Sometimes you're going to want to play something that you'd love to add to your deck for the future. Dude, this is Chemical X, like, doubtlessly. And another Crescendo to enter a Wrath stance faster that also retains is very important. Sometimes you're going to play it for, like, the best possible attack immediately, and sometimes you're going to play it just to get the best attack that costs 0 for 1 turn. I think. I'm just gonna hit you. I know it doesn't make you weak, unfortunately. I wish that it did. You know, we don't have ice cream. Let's just smack. Like, there's a little bit inside of me, like, is it worth the cost? Like, the opportunity cost of losing the Akabeko versus the opportunity cost of not using an energy we could have used that also has mutagenic strength attached to it. I don't know, man. Nobody knows, okay? I don't know. You don't know. We're going to empty body, then vigilance. I know it seems like a, you know, we moved and didn't end up in a different place, but then we get to crescendo out of it, which also does little for us, but we do double damage as a result, which allows us to then feel relatively safe on this turn with a talk to the hand and a strike. We won't use Lesson Learned. It's just not necessary yet. And this is a big turn. Foreign Influence has, like, this is just disgusting damage. Carve Reality into a Smite. Because we're going to draw it next turn, I think you just get that Expunger out there as quickly as possible. And, I think we saved the Miracle. It seems like we could draw, like, a through Reach Heaven on this turn. So there's our Super Expunger. Nice and meaty. Reach Heaven, and then an Eruption. I'm not saying that Miracle saved us, but hey, that's why I took it. Crush Joints. I think I'm realizing some extra additional vulnerability is kind of nice. Now, can I tell you, I just don't trust this elite fight here because it's kind of too far away from campfires for my personal taste. I think there's a lot to like here. We get the energy back. We play the cards that give us a benefit in the future. We go back into the calm state. You have to die first. That's the scary thing. Well, let's play it like this then. Get that cool Expunger out there that does 54 damage by itself. I was just gonna say we're gonna be frail for 5 turns, which is pretty horrible, but it's all right. Give me a Foreign Influence into. I'll take a Flying Knee off of it. Might as well start like this. And then Vault. We're waiting for this Expunger. Lesson Learned. It doesn't quite get us there, I think. If it would get us there with the potion, I would use it. So you have 43, and we have 30 damage. So we should have 45 damage, if my mathematics are correct. What am I... This is not an attack. I mean, if anything, I'm just mad because this is actually better. I can't believe that hadn't been upgraded yet. We don't need to exit calm, although it would allow us to land 1 attack. We're better off being in calm. Yeah, I think we might have wasted a potion, but in the whole spectrum of, like, you know... I think you stall out. We're so close to getting you, though. In the whole spectrum of, like, mistakes I've made while playing this game, that one is one of the least bad, without a doubt. You can laugh at me all you want. I think you stall again. We're just waiting for, like, a one-hit attack that'll kill you. I don't know if we're ever gonna get there. Now that I look at it, but... Like Eruption. Okay, hold on. Another safety. Lets you do one more attack. Give you some vulnerability. We could kill you. It'll take 3 damage off of us. I refuse. That's ridiculous. I can't... Are you kidding me? I can't afford that. Instead, I'll take 1 damage. Yeah, hey. So much smarter. I think we can afford a Wave of the Hand. I'll admit, it didn't necessarily sell me, but the fact that it's upgraded had me going. Now you're just the worst. Everybody knows it. We're all talking about it. We can at least weaken you. All things being equal, a weakening move seems okay here. I mean, we could signature move you. It'll do so much damage, but I'm worried you're going to add, like, a curse to my deck. I think you got to be a little bit smarter on this one. I think you got to be a little bit more patient. We have no blocks. Very cool. So let's just start smacking. At least we got to talk to the hand so we can get some more weakness out there. More vulnerability. You're doing 18 damage. That's pretty bad, but like, just give me this plated armor at least, which will give you even more weakness. I mean, if I'm being 1000% straight up with you, we're basically just trying to create the world's greatest ever Conjure Blade. And then follow that up with playing the Conjure Blade. There's gotta be... Okay, so check this out. Here's a new play for you. Conjure Blade for 6. Technically for 5, I guess. But then Crescendo... Wait, actually, here, check this out. Miracle. Conjure Blade for literally 6. Crescendo to get 2 energy back, which then allows you to play your Vault, and then draw the Expunger and end their life. Now, this is a bold play. Actually, it's even more. I forgot because of Chemical X. Now just draw it. You son of a... You piece of... So how much damage does it do? 15 damage 9 times, so you're dead. We just need to put up block. You're doing 29 damage. This would be 10. We're gonna get there. So I think don't even hit. Like, I feel safe enough on this turn. We just take the turn off. And then on this turn, we just... I mean, the fact that this does enough damage without us being in the Wrath stance is amazing. I think you could take a second Conjure Blade for sure. Now, Pain is a nasty card. We definitely still want... Well, I don't know. Maybe... now I'm like, maybe you want a Conjure Blade. You're doing 13 damage. It's really hard to... You know what? We can always just get a Vault whenever we draw it. That's a great start. Give me a Defend. Then a Miracle into a cool Conjure Blade. Maybe it's not the greatest Expunger that's ever existed. Still pretty good. We can swivel into a Strike, into an Eval, and take some time off. The deck's looking a little backloaded right now. That's okay. This is definitely like your Crescendo, Carve, Reach Heaven, Smite, Vault, and the slow debuff keeps going, so you love to see it. We won't play a Perseverance, we're just going to play our attacks. I don't really want to, like, exit stance, but I will because it's the smart guy thing to do. That's a gimme. Foreign influence is so valuable here. I will say, for all the... This is an important card. I would honestly say Reach Heaven is still the play. I guess we're going to stall on this Expunger. We can always play it for 0, and it's still pretty good. You know, it's still 27 for 1, which is really realistically 54 for 1. Although it's not on this turn. Yeah, I completely forgot what I was talking about, but I'm doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. You can this deck has been solid the whole way through. Now, is there a way? 9 damage. 54 damage is 63. Oh, wait. 9 damage. 90 damage. No, that's even more than 9. It's 95 damage. And then the most beautiful lesson learned of all time. Cowards would tell you lesson learned gets weaker as the game goes on. They don't know what I know. Never forget that. You know, I'm never going to be sad about just getting a little extra block, I think. We almost have a fully upgraded deck. I'd really love this question mark to be a shop. I will lose 88 gold for one more crack at a card. It's pretty bad. Great first turn, though. I still think you have to play the Reach Heaven, but then you just create the world's greatest expunger. 40-something damage. That's really nasty on this turn. We actually get pretty lucky. We're only taking like 18. And we want to ruin your life here. We have to do something like this. At least we can put some vulnerability on you. Oh, don't talk to me. At least you're weak for 2 turns. You know what? No, we just did that way so that lesson learned would kill him. I wouldn't expect you to understand. We want a secret technique into a vault. I don't care about the pain damage here. This, for one, I don't think that even talk to the hand is relevant here. I just wish there was a way we could conjure blade as well, but I don't think that's the case. I think you have to crescendo. Well, in that case, then we should crescendo, talk to the hand, vault. And then we just kill you. You're intangible? I thought because we skipped turn, you would not be intangible. Bizarrely, you're only doing 30 damage, which is like... I mean, we take 5? It's not that bad. This was mishandled, don't get me wrong. But yet we got our final strike upgraded, so who's laughing now? Hey, Toy Ornithopter is actually a dream come true, as is an upgraded Foreign Influence, which I think allows us to get AoE from other decks, which is extremely valuable. And I'm actually of the belief here that maybe taking a Foreign Influence is the right play. Wallop is not really what I was looking for. But it is still, I mean, there is still 20 block as a result of that. I mean, you can laugh at this play all you want. It's mostly to get the Toy Ornithopter trigger. We know we want to vault. You also need talk to the hand. So we'll probably weaken you. I think you just vault right away. Because you want to save your miracle for like a super conjure blade, probably. $13, you're doing 22. Honestly, I'm willing to take a hit here. I think I could play Perseverance and then just get a super conjure blade. I think that does more for us long term than trying to make sure we don't take damage on this turn. So you're dead. Wonderful. We're not taking any damage except for pain. Pain's going to be annoying, but it is what it is. Master Reality's pretty huge. This is not a good draw. Enemy is not vulnerable. Pommel, actually, I was just going to say, could get us out of a little bit of a jam here. You're still doing a bunch of damage. I would just like to play as many attacks as possible. And I think we will probably not play the Conjure Blade. I think we'll get a better turn in the future, which is, admittedly, I'm market timing, but we'll see. We already have one good expunger out here with the Crescendo attached. I think you don't play it yet. I know it seems like you gotta play it, but you can really only Crescendo once. You know what? Maybe we could have, because it gave us, obviously, a copious amount of block. But like, the expunger doesn't get exhausted, so that's not, like, a super wasted opportunity cost or anything. 24. Is it? You know, this might be a great situation to learn from my previous mistake, and, like, crescendo, through violence, strike. If I can get to 42 block, 22... I can get to literally 42 block? No. But I can only take 4 damage here. That's not worth using the stance potion in my world, if we can just get out of it this easily. It's a pretty big play. This might be worth using. No, it's absolutely 1,000,000,000% not worth using the stance potion, because we just exited stance anyway. And as long as this perseverance remains in hand, we're like the luckiest person on planet Earth. Let's go calm, and then exit calm. And then we create another sick, nasty expunger here. I know it seems like we're kind of fading, but I see it as the exact opposite. I see us as getting substantially stronger basically every time we play these cards. We're now set up, I think. Now we're going to have to deal with a pretty nasty situation. 17. I really prefer not to have to play Perseverance, but I think we do have to play it. But that allows us to then play this at the very least. It's going to be close, okay? Put a Perseverance back in hand. I think you still retain the cards that will allow you, if you get Eruption, to kill you. Let's just get to enough block. Lovely. We got some great retained cards here. So this is the play. You erupt. Through violence. Any attack. Like, smite will work, but we could use something worse. Or we could do something cool. But this doesn't retain, so you might as well dump it. And then I think you gotta, like, exit stance. Okay. Things are gonna be interesting here. No question there. Vulnerability is, like, a must-play. I think an Empty Fist is pretty important. Unfortunately, Expunger doesn't stick around. So I think we have to play it while we have the opportunity to play. You know what? If we had erupted there, we might have literally killed you. But that's a lesson learned for the future. That's literally enough to not take damage. Let's put another smite in hand. Keep in mind, if you draw an expunger, your stance potion probably wins you the game. Weakness is pretty pog. 27... They do heal for 10 every turn, but... Eruption. Now this is where you look at it, and you go, okay, you're doing 54 damage on an Eruption. But we can stance out of it. I think you play it. But do the math. You made it this far. 9, 123. Energy's tight. That's a problem. This would give you then 18 block. I mean, we actually, you know what? We have no block, so I don't even need to do the math, because I know how we're going to play this. I know it's famous last words, but this at least allows us to get to 18 block. Followed by a smite, which is good damage. Yeah. Followed by a stance potion to put us in calm. And we get the 5 HP back. Again, the math matters on this. You're doing 21 damage, which I'll point out is not lethal. What about a 15 into 24? Okay, very solidly played run throughout. I'm proud of myself. I thought that went pretty well. We did. I mean, I'm pleased, okay? So I don't think we started each run cursed. I don't remember what happened to our curse there. Maybe we just drew through it all the time and I was, like, card blind to it. That was a very good one, though. Fewer potion slots. We have been using the potions better than ever, but for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm on cloud 9. Thanks for your support, and I'm starting to have some confidence. I'm starting to believe we can actually do this. I'll see you next time.